Footages caught by Ring doorbell security cameras. Horror stories animated. Let's get right into it.
I am 99% sure that everyone in this world is battling with a deep secret in one way or another. Some of us more than others. But unfortunately, for me, the dark secret that I kept ate at my soul for over 15 years. As I would lay numerous nights, sitting awake and wishing that I could throw my conscience away.
You in La Pinta?
But like
What?
every other person,
Why do I
I
see
learned
bars?
to live with it. And I kept it buried away from everyone. But as they say, karma is a bitch. And little did I know that she had the adamant intent of revealing my dark secret to everyone.
Damn.
I was 27 years old at the time of this incident. I was working a normal 9.
Low key, I low key believe. I'm like, listen, we haven't watched the story yet, but I believe in karma. But I also believe ignorance is bliss. So if he would have just fucking forgot about whatever horrible thing he did, and just actually ignored it instead of letting it eat at his soul, he would have probably been straight. You know what I mean? Like, he's not thinking, oh, that's the reason that's happening, and maybe it wouldn't have happened because he would have reacted differently if he knew that it was just a random occurrence. That's a random fucking tangent I just went on, but let's see what he's yapping about.
9-to-5 job, and I really didn't have any problems in my life. Well, that was till one fateful Tuesday night. I had laid down to go to sleep after a long day of work, and at exactly 12 a.m., I was abruptly awoken by the sound of my Ring camera's motion alarm. This has happened a while back, and I remember going outside to see some stray cats on my porch. I thought the same was happening again, so I ignored it and went back to sleep. The next morning, before I went to work, I decided to be on the safe side, so I poured myself a cup of coffee and I began to check out the Ring camera's footage. I told myself it was nothing, as I fast-forwarded through the hours leading up to 12 a.m. But as soon as the video hit 12, I saw a woman walk up to my porch.
That's actually scary. I don't like how they transitioned right there to her.
She had red, puffy eyes, and she looked directly at the Ring camera with a death stare. While her face was contorted in anger, she was smiling from ear to ear. Now, immediately when I saw the woman, I felt my stomach clench as I threw up the coffee that I had drank. When I was done, I began to back away from the laptop.
You threw up? She not that ugly, bro. Chill out.
Saying, no, no, no. It felt like I was suffocating as the room began to close around me. I laid on the floor trying to catch my breath and calm down. Now, I wasn't acting like this because a random woman walked up to my doorstep and started staring creepily at my Ring camera. No, I was acting like this because I knew the woman who appeared in the video.
Oh?
Her name was Olivia Cole.
Wait, did he do something inappropriate to her? That's why it's been eating it at his soul. Oh, this video is crazy.
And the reason why I was trembling was because Olivia had been dead for over 15 years.
Oh! He killed her? You killed her? Why would you do that?
I was pretty sure of this because I watched her die. It happened when I was in the 7th grade. I was 12 at the time, and Olivia was my best friend. It was after school, and we were playing on an old monkey bar in the playground. Olivia was playing dangerously at the edge of the monkey bar, but I didn't say anything as she was having fun. But in the following 2 minutes, I would regret that decision as I watched her lose her footing and fall to the concrete floor. The sound of her skull cracking as it connected with the floor is something that I still hear every time I go to sleep.
In what world? Hold on, let me get this off the screen. In what world is a 5-foot drop? Not even. Yeah, maybe a 5-6 foot drop from the monkey bars gonna kill you instantly. And this picture makes it seem like she just fell off a cliff. Her whole head broken. Yeah, no.
Sleep at night.
Watch out.
As I was 12, the incident gave me a lasting trauma as I had to see a lot of therapists. After the horrific accident, Olivia and her family moved away, and I hadn't heard anything about them. But now, over 15
What do you mean Olivia and her family moved out? You just said she was dead. Hold on, what?
years later, I'm apparently seeing someone who looks exactly like their dead daughter at my doorstep. I called in sick to work that day, as the incident shook me to the core. That night, I laid awake in my bed.
You come back and see a beat up dude. That was a girl. Apparently she fell off the monkey bars and just died. And now he mixing up his story.
As I was too scared to sleep, and at exactly 12 a.m., the
I'm on
Ring
your
camera's
ass,
motion
boy.
alarm began to blare like crazy. I froze through the sound of the alarm as my body was paralyzed with fear. The alarm stopped after an hour, and I was completely drenched in sweat. I made my way to the living room, and I checked the Ring camera's footage. Once the timestamp hit 12 a.m., just like the night before, I saw her walk up to the door and stare at the camera. This time, she looked directly at it and said, "I know what you did."
What did
She
he do?
began to repeat the line over and over again as she kept staring at the camera. The footage was terrifying as I felt my heart sink. I realized that I was at a block road as I knew I couldn't call the cops. There was no way I could call and tell them that the spirit of my dead best friend was stalking me.
Don't tell him nothing. Just say, I got footage of a lady at my door saying, I know what you did.
That night. I also couldn't tell any one of my friends, as I knew that they'd all look at me like I was crazy. I was alone in this, and I finally came to the resolution that for the sake of my sanity, I had to deal with it myself. I stayed awake that night after that, waiting for her to appear again. I held a metal pipe in my right hand and a Bible in my left, as I told myself that I wanted to cover all bases. I watched the live footage in my room till it was 11:59 p.m. And by 12 a.m., I saw her walk up to the door. She stood there for about 5 minutes before she brought out a pen to pick my lock. Seeing that made me reconsider a lot of things, as I knew that if she was a restless spirit, she wouldn't be hindered by a door. After a few minutes, my lock eventually came loose, and I heard the door creak open behind me. Not knowing that she was a human being, I held the metal pipe tight in my hand as I heard her footsteps.
Wait, what? Not knowing that she was a human being. What are we?
The dark living room. The woman who I assumed was Olivia then said, "I know what you did. I saw you. I saw everything that happened." Without thinking, I rushed towards her with the metal pipe, and I swung the weapon at her. She managed to dodge the blow.
Ooh, she dodged. Alright, this is getting interesting now.
As she immediately reciprocated the attack
by
slapping me across the face. We began to struggle for a while before I managed to push her off me. Having gotten another opening, I swung the pipe at her leg, and the woman fell to the floor screaming.
Beat her.
I immediately raised the pipe above my head to deal the final blow, and that's when the woman screamed out, "Are you gonna kill me the same way you killed Olivia?" Those words made me freeze, and before I could do anything, the cops had entered into the house. Apparently, my neighbor had called in a noise complaint, and me and the woman were taken to the station for questioning. When we got there, they questioned the woman before questioning me. They asked me what happened, and I told them the whole story. The police officer then said, "The woman who broke into your house claimed you killed her cousin Olivia Cole, and she said this was her main motive behind what she did. Is this true?" I hesitated before answering. "She's lying. She's just a psycho who stalked me for the last 3 nights. As I told you earlier, Olivia was an old best friend who died in an incident. That woman is crazy." The cop then said, "Okay, ma'am, we're sorry for the baseless accusation."
Okay, ma'am? Am I missing something?
The cop then said, "Okay, ma'am, we're sorry for the baseless accusations. We'll lock up the woman for breaking into your house immediately." As they took her away, I watched the woman who was now crying, screaming at me saying, "Are you really going to keep lying? I watched you kill her and pass it off as an accident. You killed my cousin, and she was like a sister to me. Tell the truth. Tell the truth." I couldn't keep it in any longer as I screamed, "I did it. Yes, I did it. The cops stopped taking her.
Are you retarded? Oh, I can't. Whatever. Dude, are you dead ass? You got away with it for 15 years. And now you're gonna confess in front of the feds? Or, my God. Go to a shrink, asshole.
Her away as they all began to listen to me. And for the first time in 15 years, I began to scream out the secret that had been a huge weight on my chest.
And I've been on this.
I was just a kid. I didn't like how Olivia was spending time in making friends with the other girls in the 7th grade. I was angry, so I decided to hurt her just a little. That's why I pushed her down from the monkey bars. I really didn't want her to die, but she did. I was scared, so I lied. I killed her. I killed Olivia Cole when I was 12 years old. I broke down crying after the confession. The cops who just heard me confess to a 15-year-old murder walked up to me and put me in handcuffs. After a while, when my lawyer arrived, I found out that the woman who was stalking me was Charlotte Cole. She was the cousin of Olivia, and they looked completely alike. Apparently, she had come to get Olivia with her aunt from school that day, and she saw me push her cousin to her death. She said she didn't say anything, as she too was also dealing with the trauma, and after 15 years, she felt that the only way to be at peace was to get justice and revenge. So knowing she looked like Olivia, she decided to track me down and make me pay for what I did by messing with my sanity. This incident happened over 2 months ago. As the case is a peculiar one, it's still ongoing. And while I know the probability of me going to prison is there, I have never felt so free in my life. As for the first time in 15 years, I can finally sleep peacefully.
You still killed somebody, Mud. But I do, to play devil's advocate here. Nobody thinks pushing somebody off the monkey bars is gonna kill you. And what position do you have to be in to die from that? I'm confused. Like, I feel like every kid has been pushed off the monkey bars. And two, why is there concrete under the monkey bars? What type of penitentiary are you living in?